Welcome viewers to Historical Journeys. In the profundities of the African wilderness, a strong city once flourished more noteworthy than its contemporary European opponents in both culture and scale. Yet, in the 21st hundred years, not a hint of this rambling city remains. It vanished from history in a matter of hours, leaving few people to even remember its name or the terrible event that nearly destroyed a once powerful African city. But before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It only takes a second, and you won't miss any of our future videos. Let's get started. At that time, the fortifications of Benin City dwarfed even the Great Wall of China, which stretched nearly 10,000 miles across what is now Nigeria, with an intricate network of houses and public buildings carved out of the impassable terrain. For centuries, the city served as a model metropolis, prosperous, efficient, and safe. But it was not just overnight that the capital of the Edo people fell. And although modern streets and houses have risen from the ashes, the great year of this forgotten empire will never be seen again. Today, the great city of Benin has been reduced to a number of artifacts, museums, and private collections around the world. And even its great kings have disappeared from the history books for generations, relegated to the realm of obscure details. The underlying foundations of the Benin realm return almost 1,000 years to when the Edo nation of West Africa became fed up with their rulers. As per legend, they went to an adjoining realm and requested a ruler in their place. What's more, under this pioneer or granddad, another period started. From the outset, the OPA found it hard to track down its place among the Edo nation, since they found it challenging to manage them. Furthermore, when the crown was given over, the new ruler started a time of flourishing from which the realm would develop. At the focal point of everything was the incredible city we know today, which housed the regal royal residence. At the point when you or I climbed the privileged position in the 15th 100 years, and the realm's center moved from overcoming an area to building a cutting-edge state and managing political changes, it made an extraordinary capital city to house its partners to challenge Europe inside and out it could. As indicated by the Guinness Book of World Records, 1974, the posts around Benin City were once the biggest mud fortifications at any point worked by man. They also used 100 times as much material as the Great Pyramid of Giza and were 4 times longer than the Great Wall of China, according to an article published in New Scientist in 1999. As a matter of fact, students of history accept that the walls stretched out past Benin City to envelop many encompassing towns, covering an area of around 2,500 square kilometers. It took individuals of Edo an extraordinary 150 million worker hours to finish this work. The designing abilities actually astonish today, and the walls were a long way from the main wonder in Benin City. In search of new lands to conquer and exploit, the Portuguese moved to the east of Guinea in West Africa. Imagine how surprised they were when they came across a massive metropolis in the middle of the forest that was even larger than their capital. Incredible Benin, where the Lord lives, is greater than Lisbon. Every one of the roads goes straight, and as may be obvious, you can see Lourenço Pinto, the road of the Portuguese chief, starting around 1691. The houses are huge, particularly the rulers' homes, which are perfectly embellished and have lovely points of support. The city is prosperous and productive. It is so all around dealt with that burglary is obscure, and individuals live in such an excess of safety that they have no entryways. At the point when urban communities like London were covered by neediness and wrongdoing, this wilderness realm ought to have looked more noteworthy. The houses and streets are neat and tidy, and the people appear to be honest and good. What's more, from here, an organization of side streets expand. As per a few contemporary researchers, the balance found in city plans demonstrates an experience with what is known as fractal plan. At the point when the Europeans previously came to Africa, they believed that the design here was extremely dim. College of Michigan teacher Ron Eglash told The Watchman in 2016. However, Benin's decorative ornamentation is the urban architecture's most striking feature: public and confidential structures. As a matter of fact, Benin City is known as a middle for human expression. The Edo people gained fame for their distinctive style and perfected intricate methods like secret wax casting. The Europeans began to see Benin as a kingdom for commerce rather than conquest after being astonished by what they saw. Before long, the Edo public wound up at the focal point of the exchange organization. At its level, the Benin domain extended from the Niger stream to introduce de Lagos, which is 20% of the region of Nigeria today. And the capital city of Benin remained in everything. Is an astonishing creation dissimilar to some other as of late. As the decision party lost power, the serene realm plunged into common difficulty. To acquire this significant domain, they prevailed with regards to adding Lagos, carrying them nearer to the lines of the realm of Benin. Despite the fact that they were confronting such extraordinary military powers, the Oba family would not submit to unfamiliar rule. Starting during the 1880s, domains across Africa fell individually into European hands. In any case, the Benin domain opposed, likely stirring up a lot of consternation for the unfamiliar trespassers. Before long, accounts of refined urban areas loaded up with workmanship and culture disappeared, supplanted by accounts of wild places. While the Oda stayed segregated, some said it had gone to human penance to unite its power, energizing European pictures of Benin City as rough and brutality. The British consul James Robert Phillips then sent troops to Benin City in January 1897. Clearly, his objective was to remove the pioneers and lay out an administration more thoughtful to the objectives of the settlers. However, individuals of Edo knew about this arrangement and went after the looters before they could accomplish their objective. With the passing of Philip's gathering, the English fought back. The last city was set on fire, and the capital was razed to the ground after the British were captured. Be that as it may, first they stole from the radiant structures and took the abundance of the Edo public. Additionally, many priceless treasures were sold to private collections and museums worldwide without proper documentation during the chaos. As is known, a portion of the relics taken from the city of Benin were given over to the English Service of International Concerns, which exchanged them for an enormous benefit, while the rest stayed in the assortments of unfamiliar organizations. After the assault, the Oba escaped into the timberland with his chiefs and different supporters. Nonetheless, he returned after around a half year, yet was banished to the work city. The exiled Oba died in his son Utica, who inherited the title, and eventually returned to his father's city and rebuilt the palace after the king left, and a new city finally rose from the ashes in 1914. What's more, this was not by any means the only component of a definitive realm that he needed to reestablish. Utica has been focused on achieving a single objective since the 1930s, locating Edo treasures scattered throughout the globe. Among the missing curios are an assortment of Benin bronze plaques cut from the walls of the last city. It is said that these ornamental bronzes changed the European perspective on African workmanship. Today, the English Exhibition Hall in London houses 700 Benin bronzes, the biggest single assortment on the planet. The Smithsonian's National Museum of African Art in Washington, D.C., then announced plans in March 2022 to return the majority of the Benin bronzes to Nigeria. After receiving approval, other U.S. businesses were urged to follow suit. Be that as it may, the English Historical Center would not return the assortment. As indicated by reports, Benin City authorities desire to open the Edo Historical Center of West African craftsmanship, zeroing in on recuperated bronzes. And yet, guests to this piece of Nigeria don't realize that they are remaining on the vestiges of an extraordinary realm. Truth be told, the most recent data about Benin City doesn't show up in nearby travel guides. Today, the remaining parts of that realm are failed to remember structures remaining nearby close to Agnan. Aside from the dissipated Benin bronzes, this is the main remainder of the incredible realm of the Edo public, one of the extraordinary walls that encompassed the city of Benin, and quite possibly of the most astonishing scene at any point found by the world. As per Pierce, it was exclusively in 1994 that a 1,000-year-old city was found in southern Nigeria. Is a portion of Benin City's high walls just waiting to be found and buried in the jungle? Nearby inhabitants are said to have reused large numbers of the old structures and involved them as starting points for new structures. According to reports, construction workers continue to demolish any old signs that stand in their way. In the event that the remaining parts of Benin City can be saved and safeguarded, what will be the impact on its new occupants? Notwithstanding, any endeavor to re-establish this city is probably going to be dreary best-case scenario. So will we, as establishments like the English Gallery, return them to their legitimate owners and assist with correcting the wrongs committed quite a while back? Or will this realm stay a failed-to-remember realm for eternity? Will the darkness cover it up? Thanks for watching. If you want to stay updated with our latest videos, subscribing is the way to go. Just click that red button below and become a part of our channel family.